Hi, so on my recent video on Wednesday when I drew the Ophala rune, I mentioned having had a vivid lucid dream and being undecided about what I was going to do about it. Now again, I don't want to go into the details of the dream because it's quite heavy. It's to do with something quite specific, and going into the details is not something I want to do. I guess really there was a weight of responsibility on me. I alluded to it on my last video, that being given some information, what do you do with it? Because obviously if you go up to the average person, shall we say, and say, hey, I had this lucid dream about X, Y and Z details, they are well within their right to go, yeah, stay away from me, you crazy person. I accept that. It's not exactly a science that is a confirmed practice backed with any sort of credible data in our modern world. I accept that. That's why I'm always quite keen to analyse and question myself, as well as others, really. I mean, yes, it's a hard world. However, there was a compelling onus of responsibility on me to make a leap of faith, which I did. Having made the video on Wednesday, just after that, I did in fact look into this issue a little bit further and made a decision to contact what is essentially a celebrity with the information that I had. Obviously, getting in touch with celebrities, I mean, they have their, what should we say, bodyguards of public service, shall we say. Or in other words, they had an agent, and it was just like, well, okay, what I can do, I can email the agent and feel that I have done what I need to do. And whether they respond or not, that's out of my hands. So, I'll say I put together this email as polite as I could, and acknowledging that, I don't know, there was no expectancy on the recipient of the email to. I wasn't screaming at them. It's that sort of, I understand how it sounds, especially if you are skeptical about spiritual matters, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, all these kind of things, psychometry and that. So it was just that I sent the email, and that was, I guess, job done. I didn't expect a reply. So yesterday I did get a reply, and it was a polite email that was acknowledging and thanking me for having sent the email. Nothing more. It's, I don't know if anything more will come of it. It was a polite email acknowledging the receipt of the thing, which they didn't need to do. It wasn't expected, and I guess really it's just sort of, for now, I can draw a line under that and continue on my journey. I guess really it's the conclusions I draw from it are really, this thing happened, and I felt compelled to do what I have done, and it is, I didn't get, I suppose, shot down and crushed for passing on what I felt was necessary to the person I thought would deal with it in the most responsible way. Whether they do anything or not with it, it's their judgment, and I think it will be a good judgment if they just lock my details away and nothing happens, or whether it goes any further. It's a very, very weird situation to find yourself in. I'm hoping it doesn't happen too often. Let's say it wasn't something I sought out, the experience. I've had let's say 4 days now to dwell on it, look up some things regarding what I experienced. I'm trying to sort of keep the details I have as pure as possible without them being coloured by public knowledge, because obviously your brain will make things fit together that don't necessarily need to be fit together. I suppose the last sort of comment to make, the really hard part about this as well, is with lucid dreaming. I've mentioned it before, is knowing that you can lucid dream. The hardest thing sometimes, and it was quite easy Monday night when this happened, was to know that you are lucid dreaming, but to let the dream flow the way it needs to without interfering in it. It's like almost sort of backseat driving, if you like. So I've got a few other, I suppose, faults about that experience, this particular experience, that I connected to something and that force was in control, and perhaps I gave trust to this force to do what it needed to do, and it was a working experience in that moment. I'd say sort of at a subconscious, semi-conscious sort of level. I say it's not something I would want to re-experience too much, but on the other hand, to have experienced it has left me with a feeling of responsibility to do something more about it, and it will be down to me whether I have done enough. I hope I have, and especially when we come back to the religious aspect and that we are our deeds, I hope that in my deeds with this situation I have done the right thing. Yeah, okay, that's enough waffle. Thank you for listening. I will only discuss this with very close people to me. That's it. That's as much as I can say. Thank you very much. Please take care out there. Cheers.